step into the wonderful design world of Geordie Gandel and Renz Ward. Their marvelous work holds a secret that relates back to how they get clients and secure continuous design work. One of the main reasons that they actually get a strong client base and regular customers is that they've carved out their own unique style. Don't you think it'd be a good idea to learn some ways you can actually find your very own unique design style, and then how to use that style in the most effective way possible as a graphic designer? Oh yeah, and actually before we kick into high gear in today's video, a quick thank you and a shout out to InvoiceNinja for sponsoring today's video. Let's first look at something that might actually be hard to accept. Pretty much all creative work builds on what came before. This means that in a sense, nothing is 100% completely original. Everyone's style is ultimately influenced by other things that they've actually experienced or seen. So to carve out your own style, it makes sense to immerse yourself in the world of design and soak up the creativity that's already existing out there. But we're not just gonna straight up copy people or their work. This is what we're gonna do right here. There are two main things you can look at when considering your very own graphic design style. These two things will help you be pointed in the right direction as a designer. And the first one is actually to discover your passion. As example for me, I always had a passion for typography and branding. Those areas of design were the ones that triggered my inspiration, and it's what held my attention when flicking through design magazines or just scrolling through things like Instagram. It's that sensation you get when you see a good design that feels like a kind of a smile inside. It's the inner designer liking what they see. We want to concentrate and focus on your passion in design, because if we try and carve out a style that's not based around passion, then you won't get very far and you will eventually just burn out. The next thing to look at would be your personality and your voice. You should try to infuse your personality and your unique voice in your design work. But here's the thing, take a look at this quote. Your personal style should be flexible enough to work within a client's branding guidelines, but that doesn't mean it can't show up in the work that you actually do. Basically, you need to be aware of how your design style is going to affect your ability to gain clients, or how it will fit into a design brief. You might have a very unorthodox personality, and you might want to express that in your design with kind of anti-establishment type of work. But instead of making design work like this green and black poster here, you could instead refine the design but still have elements of anti-establishment ideologies like in this design right here. The second approach would be more accepted and more useful to clients than the first style, yet both are a bit quirky and kind of out of the box, so to speak. So you've looked at your passion, and you've also taken a look at your own unique voice and your personality. The next question should be, how do we implement our design style? Oh, and there's actually also a very crucial, important rule that we're going to take a look at later. But one of the best tricks to actually perfecting a design style is to have a running element throughout your body of work. If you look closely at this person's work here, you might notice a texture covering the designs. It's sort of a paper effect that gives a dated feel to the design work. This helps just unify the work and creates a design style around that. Or it could be as simple as using the same font family across your work, or using bold colors with a thick sans serif font, as you can see in this person's work here. But you should remember that whatever you use across your work as a kind of signature, it should allow your work to fit into design briefs. Then that raises the important question, what do you want to gain from having a design style? If you're someone who makes illustrations, then you can go wild with your design style, simply because the illustration itself is what people want. There is a lot more freedom, creatively speaking. But if you're a corporate graphic designer, you're going to be way more constricted when it comes to your design style, because you would need to fit your work into a brief and a set of guidelines. And here's a super important question that you need to be asking yourself. How intensely do you want your design style to be? On a scale from 1 to 10, how strong do you want your style to be? Your style might be a 1 or a 2, where you have a small motif and a guideline of fonts to use perhaps. Or you might be up in the 9 and 10 region, where every single piece of work looks pretty much identical. You need to work out where you want to be on that scale, because that will actually determine what kind of clients or how many clients you can realistically get. The stronger the style, the smaller your net will be in catching clients. But do you even need a design style? It's worth thinking about, isn't it? No, you don't. No, you don't. But having a design style, be it strong or weak, allows people to recognize your work, and it simply comes across as more professional. It also secures steady work because it's often the case that clients like to hire designers whose work consistently looks like something they need. If you're a jack of all trades, then your portfolio will most likely be all over the place, and that might be less appealing to possible repeat clients. Oh yeah, and that important thing that you must keep in mind. Your design style should never be fixed in position. As you grow and mature as a designer and gain other influences, it will and it should change. So don't be afraid to experiment with new techniques and materials and to see where your creativity takes you. InvoiceNinja is an open source platform focusing on freelance invoicing, payments, and productivity. When a designer starts to make real money in their career, the last thing they want to be doing is just spending a whole bunch of time on paperwork, invoicing, and all the back-end stuff. InvoiceNinja makes everything faster and more simple for you and for me, and it has things like time tracking and project management features, so you can remain laser focused on a project. It has banking integrations, and even inventory and vendor tracking. The invoice templates really do rock as well, and they'll make you look really professional when you shoot over your next invoice to a client. And there are a whole bunch of invoice templates that you can scroll over, browse, and then use on your projects. But yeah, be sure to check out InvoiceNinja down in the description box below and see how it can help your career today. Click the video on screen to boost your creativity by learning new skills. And until next time, design your future today. Peace.